So you are able to see, right?
Yes, sir.
Voice is audible, no?
Yes, sir.
No. Okay. Anyway, so last class, of course, we have discussed all the correlated how to calculate, the reliability indices. Okay. So this is applicable even for non-normal, like Hasso for Lind we have seen, then Rackwitt procedure we have seen. So these are essentially the basic equations comes from that constrained optimization. Okay. So you have to do in iterative kind of a format, and then you can calculate all the reliability indices. Okay, so you have to assume something, design point, and then you have to do all those things. Suppose if the problem is linear, say, and if all your variables are also normal, then it is very easy. But if they are not, then you have to do all these steps only. Okay. So this anyway we have seen in the last class. Okay, and if it is a correlated also, you can calculate the correlation coefficient, and you can write. And of course these things doing on a pen and paper is difficult, but on a computer it's very easy to solve all these problems itself. Okay, now the next topic what we are looking is on the system reliability. So all of how to calculate component reliability. Okay, so this we have discussed. Now suppose if you want as a system, say, so even our civil engineering structures, if you see, you don't have a beam and a column actual. Okay, so if you want to find out the reliability of a building, say, it will have multiple columns, then multiple beams are there, and each individually we can calculate. So individual beam, individual columns, they have their probability of failure, they will have their reliability index. But now we have to find out on a whole set. Okay, the overall what is the reliability also. So in design, so like you see, we can have some kind of a constraints. See, overall reliability will be there, then the individual element reliability will be there. So like you see, if I know the reliability of the individual beams, say, of individual components of a column or a beam or whatever, so how do I calculate the overall probability of failure of a system like this? So this becomes very important in our design. Okay, so how to calculate the system reliability? So in system reliability, say, so it is very easy to calculate. So the only key here is you have to identify series and parallel, basically. Okay, like series springs in parallel kind of a thing. So this if you can identify, say, then your calculation becomes extremely simple itself. So this is the only thing which we have to do. Like for example, say, so now as asked last class I already told you, series means what do you mean by series system? Any of you remember? What is meant by series? No.
Failure of a single component dictate the failure of the entire
Series.
system.
Very good. So one thing goes means gone. That's all. It is like this is a chain I have told you, right? So if this one breaks means the whole system also breaks itself. Parallel system means one component goes, it does not ensure system failure. So if all the this thing indeterminate structures essentially. So when you are having indeterminacy, say, so one column goes away because others will be supporting, so until all of them fail, then only the system fail. This is what we call as a parallel system. So series means one thing goes means all other things goes away. Like determinate, you follow statically determinate things. It comes under series. Indeterminacy, say, you can like a parallel kind of a system itself. So you should be able to identify which is series, which is parallel. Say like for example, this is a portal frame, say, okay. Now we are having two columns and beam edge. What do you mean by failure here? No. Now I want to talk failure of this portal frame. So this I am interested to calculate basically. So now how do you calculate here? So we are having how many components are there here? No. So in this portal frame, so what are the components?
The two columns and one beam.
So two columns, two columns AB, then CD. These are the two columns. Then you are having a beam which is BC. Okay. So totally three components are there. So finally AB, BC, CD kind of a thing. So now what do you mean by failure of this portal frame? So when I say the portal frame failure means individual, individual AB column you can find out, individual CD column you can find out, like from buckling or whatever mode you can easily estimate. BC also movement capacity you followed it, that also you can calculate. Now what do you mean by failure of a portal frame? What do you mean by this portal frame?
So we have to find out the capacity for column mechanism and sway mechanism and beam mechanism and combined one. So the
No,
lowest one.
that is no. What do you mean by failure? Suppose if one column fails, say what happens? If one column fails, say suppose if a CD, this fails, so the system will fail. See, suppose now this is a statically determinate or indeterminate kind of a structure it is.
Indeterminate.
So now suppose if CD goes, say, now whether this will, the system will fail or what will happen here actually?
Load distribution will happen. It will not fail suddenly.
So its system is not failing. Suppose if BC collapses, the beam collapses, then columns are perfectly fine. If beam collapses, then what happens to the portal frame? That overall failure kind of thing.
Again, it will be a local failure.
No, the beam collapses. So overall portal frames, if the beam goes away in this frame, then there is no portal frame, right? You will be having individual columns only, A, B, and C, D, which are fine, but there is no portal frame. If the BC, if it is not itself there itself, okay? So like here, you can say that now if you take the columns, say A, B, and C, D, okay, they are in parallel or series. A, B, and C, D. See, one column goes also, whether portal frame will collapse.
No, sir, they're in parallel.
So now you can say A, B, and C, D, say they are in parallel. So something like you have to identify actually. Now the columns and the beams, how they are linked here. So BC and then the beam BC. And then these two columns, say, so how they are connected here. So beam BC or ABCD basically. See, both the column goes away, say, then also portal frame is collapsed. Now in the same portal frame that the beam collapses also, it is no more a portal frame actually basically. So now what is your comment? So beam BC and these columns, say AB and CD, which are already in parallel. What's the link between these two? So the beam and the two columns, they are in series or parallel?
Series.
They are in series connections. Okay, so this is how you have to identify actually. Okay, so like which are in series, which are in parallel, say, so then you can solve a problem itself. So generally in our structures, you will not have a series or a parallel system. You will have a combination basically. You will have a hybrid kind of thing. But only the idea here is how you should be able to separate it out actually, which is a series, which are in parallel basically. So it is very easy. Series means one thing collapses, the whole system collapses. Parallel means all the things goes away, then only this system will be in parallel. So that is the one which you have to identify, which are in series, which are in parallel. So that thing say. Then if it is series, you should be able to calculate separate, how to calculate in parallel. So that's so the whole thing boils down. So system reliability means essentially you are identifying which are in series, which are in parallel basically. So now this identify, that is the first step. If you are able to identify these two nicely, then your problem is almost the solved itself. Now you have to find out how to calculate series and how to calculate parallel, which is very easy and straightforward. So then the calculations are done. So the most important step is which are in series, which are in parallel. This is the only thing you should be able to identify given a problem. That's all. Okay. And now let us see if in series systems, say how do we calculate the probability of failure individually. Okay. So series system, how to calculate this probability of failure or reliability index or whatever. Okay, or how to calculate beta or this probability of, anyway both of them are interlinked only. Okay, so how do we calculate this probability of failure itself? So now let us say we have a series, so we are having a series system consisting of n elements basically. Okay, so n elements are there. So if you are having n elements, this one, and the strength, let us say, is basically the random variable. Let us say Ri. This is the strength of ith element. Okay, so this anyway you followed it. The strength is this one. So now since it is a random variables, it will obviously it will have a density function. It will have a distribution and all those things will be there. So this is a cumulative distribution function or capital P, let us say this is our notation we are following. So this is a probability distribution function basically of the strength of each individual the element itself. Now let us say the load basically say. So the load is Q, and let us say we assume it is a deterministic basically. The load is you followed it. The load is a deterministic. Generally, the load is known. Now you have to calculate this itself. So just for the time being, if you see, say now in terms of probability of failure, say now what do you mean by probability of failure? So probability of failure means the probability of your strength R actual, okay, should be less than or equal to this load. The resistance should be less than or equal to Q. So this anyway, you can write this as a PR of Q itself basically. So now if it is in a series system, say if it is in a chain kind of thing, so if the load is P, say what will be the load carried by each element in the chain? No. If it in series, this chain said the load is a P, so the load carried by all the elements also will be equal to no.
P.
P itself generally in chain you can easily find out if it is in a determinate truss, say maybe you may have to do some calculation, but generally in chain means it will be say. So the load so all the chains say, so the load, the total load, if it is P, okay, the load carried by each element, okay, so the load carried by each element, say let us say I will call this as Qy. Okay, so this is a load carried by this total element itself is Qi. So now my probability of failure, say, so this is as already we have written. So PR of Q. So this means a P, R less than or equal to Q. I can write this expression as 1 minus P or greater than Q itself. But since we are having all kinds of so many elements are there, say, so I can write this expression as R1, the first element actually greater than Q1, okay. So intersection R2 greater than Q2, the second element basically. Intersection like this, because we are having so many things are there, and Rn greater than Q1. So it is basically the intersection of all these individual elements itself. Now if they are all independent, say now what happens, this joint density function, see we are having the chains actually, so like this determinate truss, so we are having the individual elements. So this element, we are having all these individual elements. So series connection means if one fails, the whole system collapses. So now you have to calculate the probability, say, so R, the what is that R, this load exceeds here, this load exceeds here, this load exceeds all the elements, say. Now so finally, so the failure means you have to calculate the overall thing itself, okay. Now if they are all independent, say, so now how do you write this joint density function? No. It is a multi-dimensional problem basically. If you are having n elements, so now you are having the n dimensional, the joint probability density function you have to calculate basically, okay. Now suppose if you assume that all of them are independent, say, then what happens? Now what happens if they are independent, all these elements, like you see this is independent of each other, say. Now how do you write the joint density? Now what happens? Independence means we have discussed, right? Probability if you are having two random.
Probability of the individual components will be multiplied.
Individual components will be multiplied. So assuming that they are independent, okay. Otherwise, you have to do those big, the calculations. So if there are statically independent and all other things are there, so now this probability, so you can split into simple multiplication. So R1 greater than Q1, okay. So probability R2 greater than Q2, okay. So like this, probability say Rn greater than Qn kind of thing. So and then we can write this, if you write in terms of probabilities, say, okay. So this you can write this as, so 1 minus so this can be written as 1 minus P R1 less than or equal to Q1. So this expression, so 1 minus P R2 less than or equal to Q2, okay. So like this you have all the terms will be there. So this can be written as 1 minus pi, that is a multiplication actually, I is equal to 1 to n. So we have 1 minus P Ri, say, okay, of Qi. This you can write this as 1 minus this pi, which is nothing but a multiplication of the individual the probability of failures basically. So this is how we write it. So this is our probability of failure. Okay. So when the systems are in series, basically, okay. So what we are doing is, if I know the individual probability of failure of all the individual elements, say, and if you assume that all of them are independent of each other, so then you can use this expression to calculate the overall probability, that is a system probability, from this expression, basically. Okay. So you can write in this format, and you can calculate this individual probabilities itself. So this is how we calculate for a series system. So to just have an idea, so let us just solve one interesting problem which is there in the book, Melcher's book. Okay, so let us say we have a beam here. Okay, it is simply supported. Yeah, and then there is a cable or steel rod or whatever here. Yeah, so this is some beam A, B, and then C. So some dimensions have been given. So like something 8 foot, and then and the load is also there, some 40k or whatever. So this is a load, and 6 feet is this one. So this is a beam which is a 12 feet basically. Okay, the length, and then we are having a steel rod. Okay, so AB is a beam. Okay, and then BC, say this is some I think some steel bar. Some details have been given. Okay, and now tell me, what do you mean by failure here? See, this how many components are there, first of all? So in this problem, how many components are there? So you are having a beam. So this is so a beam is there, and then a bar is there. Okay, so bar element means tension, compression kind of a thing. Beam means anyway the bending capacity and all other things will come. So there are basically two elements are there. And now you tell me whether they are connected in series or parallel.
Series.
No, series means why it is. Suppose if beam collapses, then what happens? The entire system? No.
The entire system will fail.
Gone. Now suppose if BC collapses, then also, because it is only simply supported here, but suppose this end is simply supported, but if it was fixed, say, then what could have happened then? See, the support A is simply supported.
It won't collapse.
It won't collapse. Then you have to do parallel or whatever other things comes. But since this end is simply supported, so then these two systems are in series actually. You followed. And now some details have been given, the resistance and other things also. So the resistance, say the nominal resistance for AB. Okay, the resistance for AB, which is anyway resistance for this beam AB, say the section modulus and others. It is a steel beam, say. Fy into Z is here for the beam. Then for AB, okay, resistance for BC, sorry. The second one, the expression is because it is a bar element, say. So bar element means, right, its resistance is area into this itself. That is, pi by 4 d square into Fu. So now I think these numbers are, this is how the resistances are there. Okay. Now the mean value and standard deviation you can easily find out. So in this problem, say, so this beam resistance actually. So this beam is, a log normal, this problem. So this he has taken the resistance of the beam as log normal, whereas the steel bar, say, this is normal actually. So this is a log normal. Okay, and this is a normal distribution. Okay, so this is what they have given here, and the mean and standard deviation anyway you follow, right? You can easily find out here. So for the beam AB, okay, so sigma log R, that is the this one of the log normal distribution is 0.129, and then mean, say mu log R is 7.84. Now similarly, say for the beam, basically the BC, okay, so mu R BC. Okay, the mean value is 52 some this one, and sigma, say RBC, say, okay, this is 7.28 K. So these are some units have been given up actually. Okay, so for resistance of AB is this one, and it is a log normal. This is assumption, and this is a normal distribution. Okay, so these details anyway you can easily calculate, provided that depth, the uncertainty, if it is given, you can easily find out these numbers itself. Okay, and now you have to find out the individual probability of failure also, as well as the component probability of failure. So now beam, what is the failure for this beam? So beam will failure in which mechanism? So because the section modulus we have written, no. So what is the governing thing for the beam? See what is which one governs the beam basically, the failure of the
flexure, sir.
Flexure. So now you have to find out the bending moment actual. So in this problem, load is taken as deterministic basically. Okay. So you have to find out the maximum, the bending moment, M max. So anyway, you can easily calculate all those things. So PL by 4 or something like that. So 40 into 12 by 4. So this turns out to be 1440, some kilo, inches or whatever. So these are the limits. So now the probability of failure of the beam, say, for the beam component. Okay. So this anyway, probability, your resistance of AB should be less than 1440. So this is how you have to calculate. Anyway, you can calculate the RAB. RAB is a log normal random variable. Okay, so you can easily calculate, the log normal thing. So 5 log of 1440 minus mu log R, okay, divided by, you see, sigma log R actual. So substitute the mean, everything, so this turns out to be 5 of minus 4.4. So this turns out to be 5.41 into 10 to the power minus 6. So this is the probability of failure for the beam AB. Now for the bar BC, say, okay, this is normal distribution. So probability now here for the bar, say, and now what is the failure for the bar? See, bar, it is a steel bar. So bar means what is the failure criteria for the bars?
Axial tension.
It is axial load. So how much is the load on coming on the bar BC? So the
20.
load is 40 here.
20.
20. Okay, so that is a straightforward, this problem. So our BC, say, it is less than 20 actual. Okay, so this anyway is a normal distribution. So it is straightforward. So 20 minus mu by sigma, RBC, sigma RBC, you substitute, say. So this turns out to be 5 of minus 4.39. And the probability of failure is 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So this is the probability of BC. And now you have to find out the system failure. Okay, the system probability has to be failed. This has to be calculated. So P of F actually, this has to be calculated for the entire system. So that is given by this expression. So now n components. So now in this problem, so we are having only 2 components actual. Okay, so this turns out to be 1 minus pi, I is equal to 1 to 2. Okay. So 1 minus the probability of failures. So this is anyway. So finally you sum up this one. So you can write this as 1 minus. Now 1 minus 5.41 into 10 to the power of minus 6. This is one thing. The other one is 1 minus 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So dump everything and finally you get 1.11 into 10 to the power of minus 5 actual. And now what is your comment here? What is the comment here? So the overall system probability is a failure probability is this thing 1.11 into 10 to the power of minus 5. The individual probabilities are how much? What is the comment here?
The probability of system failure is slightly higher than the individual failure probability.
So probability of the system failure is more than the individual probabilities itself. Okay, so you can comment and then you follow, right? You can calculate. So what does it tells you? What is your comment? Or probability of failure, that is fine. If you see the individual reliability, say reliability is given by this 4.44. So if you see the system here, beam reliability is for AB, say it is basically 4.40. Beam beta for BC, say, is a 4.39, and the overall system, say overall system you can calculate from this one. So this turns out to be 4.24 actual. So where reliability is low, whose reliability is your system reliability is low or individual things are low?
System probability, reliability.
So what is your comment? So what does we can say from this expression? So now you can say that which is more reliable, which is less reliable actually. See, reliability is something like you follow, right? How much reliability, how much you can depend basically. So now what it says is my system's reliability is low, so you can say system is less reliable basically. You follow. So this is how we can interpret this the expressions. So the system is less reliable compared to the individual components. Okay. Or high probability of failure, the failure or something like that, you can comment itself.
Sir,
So
I have one question.
tell me.
Suppose if they ask that we have to make a system more reliable than the individual elements, then what should we do?
So that you have to do the, so suppose if you want to do this one, so how do you say this, how to solve this one? You are talking about the bounds, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we will come to that one. What is a bound? So now here, what is assumption here? See, what is that we have assumed here in calculating this problem? The most important assumption is
series system.
No, series, that is fine. How did we calculate this expression?
All are independent.
All are independent. So here lies your answer actually. You followed. So if you make the system dependent, say, then if they are correlated, say, so you can do right the design. See, like AB can now, right now we are assuming that AB and BC are entirely independent or uncorrelated kind of thing. So if you want to make this more, this one say correlation, all other things will come into picture. Okay, so you just wait for some time. We will calculate the bounds also. Like you see, what is the lowest bound for our this probability of failure for the system compared to this individual things also. Okay, just wait. We will give the bounds expressions for all those things also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Because correlations we have not addressed. Because if they are correlated, then everything may change also. You followed. Just wait for some time. So anyway, so this is how you can calculate for simple problems. If they are uncorrelated, if they are independent, say, you can easily calculate our system probability as this using this individual things itself. Now parallel systems, let us see. Okay, when systems are in parallel, straightforward derivations only. Okay, very, very simple. So as already we said, right? So parallel system means failure of all components is required. Okay, all the components are required for overall system to fail. Okay, to fail. So indeterminate, all those things you follow, right? So we have said basically. So now here, so if the so if you have, so this is how we require. So now here also we can calculate, say the load is deterministic. Okay, the load is deterministic to just simple your analysis. And let's say Q. So this is a Q, and let Qy the portion of the total load. So I have taken by ith element. Okay, so this is our Qi say. So now the failure of this element essentially, the Ri, the resistance of the individual thing, if it is less than this one say. So this is a failure of that individual element. You followed, right? So now we have to find out the overall probability of failure. So that means the probability R1, less than Q1 say. Okay. Intersection, R2 less than Q2. Okay. Intersection like this. So you can have Rn less than Qn also. So these also multidimensional, things itself actual. Okay. And now if you assume them, all of them to be independent, say, so you can write this multidimensional probability density function as individual products actually. So R1 less than Q1 multiplied by P R2 say less than Q2 like this, so probability say Rn, less than Q1 actually. Or this you can write this as to be right in terms of probability density R1 of Q1, probability R1 of Q2. So like this, probability say Rn Q1 actual. And finally, this you can write this as multiplication of all these individual probability of failures actually. Okay, so where your probability of failure anyway is PRI QI. So this is how we can write for a parallel system itself through this simple expressions actual. Okay, so it is very easy to remember, and then you can easily calculate this numbers itself. So now this is how you can calculate for a series, and you can calculate for a parallel system, provided they are all independent of each other. See, the thing here is what happens in reality. See, what happens here is the things will not be independent also. See, correlation is one thing. Suppose if you take a truss here, say. So now what happens is this element and this element are there. So sometimes what happens is your probabilities will be the member even these failures given the next member fails, that also you have to calculate. The conditional probability will be there. Like you see, suppose if you take a truss, say, suppose if this member fails, so this member, the failure of this member, say, it may depend on the failure of this member also, or failure of this member also. You followed. So that also may have to be, the independent, that dependency may be there. So that dependency, including, it is little bit complex, but assuming that all of them are independent of each other, say. So these are the two simple, the expressions for series as well as in parallel actually. Okay. And now let us see this hybrid system. Okay, let us see this simple, the example. Okay, which is a composite of all those two details actually. Okay, so the same thing which we solved. So we are having, this B. So that AB and then, the BC. So now what is that we have said? This frames, what is that we have said? AB and BC, which are in parallel, which are in series. We have said, right, which are in series and which are in parallel.
Columns are in parallel, and the beam is series to series connection with column.
So now this, if you want to write, generally some sketches will do generally. Okay, so like you say, they do like this. So so these two columns basically. So this is AB, and this is column CD, and this is in series connection with beam basically. So this is how they write actual. Okay, so this is how we indicate, and sometimes this is not required. Some textbooks say they use variety of symbols actually, like this also. So this symbol say some textbook is but not required, something like to indicate ductile elements. Okay, and if it is a brittle element, say they use I think some other symbol is there. So brittle element, they indicate like this. Like if you are having RCC, concrete beam or this or something like that, they indicate like this. So this is how we represent actually. Okay, so two columns in parallel, and the beam and this entire combination is in series basically. And now what will be the probability of failure? So now you tell me what is the probability of failure. So now how do you calculate? So now this and this are in series. So see, and let us assume that all are independent. Okay, and let us say probability of individual failure, that is a probability of failure of AB, probability of failure of BC, probability of failure of CD. So these are the three individual failure probabilities basically. Now how do we construct the overall probability of failure? Now what is the probability of this system? A series parallel system. So what's the probability of failure for a parallel system? And N is you followed, right? And now tell me, how do you calculate probability of failure of AB and CD? This system, these are in parallel with this one. Now I know the individual probability of AB is this one, CD is this one. Now what's the probability of failure of this system only, or the columns? Using this expression, say what happens? See, AB and CD are in parallel. So N is equal to 2 columns are there. So now what's the total probability of failure?
We'll multiply the individual probability.
Individual probability. So this combination is PF multiplied by PF, assuming that they are all independent. So these are for this combination. And now you tell me this combination and this combination. What will be the, these two are in series basically. So if the element is in series, what is the expression? And N is equal to 2 only. One is the beam BC Other one is the joint AB and CD combination. So this expression we use basically. Okay. So this probability of failure, this becomes 1 minus, say 1 minus PFBC and then 1 minus PFAB multiplied by PFCD. So this is the probability of failure actually of this hybrid system. Okay. So this way you can calculate, the probability of failure for this hybrid system through this expressions also. I think here some interesting things also, one can do also. Let us say, like you see in our designs, as already I told you, right, in our design, what they do is in the reliability based design say. So like they say, you have to have a target probability reliability index actually. Okay, they will have some, the target actual. So let us say the target reliability index of the system. Okay. So of the entire system, say, let us say in this problem, I think they have taken as, the system is 4.5. This is the target actual. So you have to design the structure such that the target reliability index is 4.5. So something like that you do. So they will give you like this actual. So the target reliability for this entire system is 4.5. Now you do the design. So you do the design, you design the beam, you design the column such that the overall probability of failures will be this much only. See, like you said, the load will be given. So this is yes, and let us say this some loads are been given to you. Okay, the height and other things will be there. So now you design the system. Okay, so they do like this also. What should be the dimensions of the beam, what should be the dimensions of the column and others. So now once you know the target reliability index for the system, say, so the probability of failure, you can easily calculate from that, the normal distribution. So this turns out to be 3.4 into 10 to the power of minus 6 itself actual. Okay. And now what is the easiest way to do this one? 3.4 and 10 to the power of minus 6. Okay. Now what will be the individual probabilities? What is that you will try to assume here? No. See, this is a design problem. Okay, so the target reliability index or the overall probability of failure will be specified to you. Now you have to do the individual design. So now this probability of failure. Now what will be the individual things? What is that you can assume? You can you have to do some this one. So what is that you can assume? Now, so this probability say what's the best assumption? Probability of this system, probability of failure of this system. So individual things. So what is that you can assume?
That probability should be more than system probability.
Yeah, that is fine. That is should be fine. But what is an assumption? PFBC, PFAB, and these two combinations is there. This is given to you. Okay. Now you have to do these two has to be find out. So if you know those two only, then only you can design your structure basically. Okay. So now if you make this probability, if you know this higher than this say, like this joint column, this combination, if it is more than this or this more than this also, you will not have any benefits. You can calculate. Okay. You can play with the numbers itself. So generally the easiest you follow, right? The thing is, the best way is if you assume say this as same actually AB, CD itself actually. Okay, so we can write the probability of failure as 1 minus PF BC whole square. So you can solve PF is anyway, you have this, sorry, this is not FY. This is for the entire system itself. So you can solve and you can find PF BC is some 3.4 into 10 to the power of, sorry, this is yes 1.7 turns out to be. So this turns out to be 1.7 into 10 to the power of minus 6 itself. Okay, so this is anyway same as a PFAB and then a PFCD, and you can make both the columns probability of failure can be same actual. Okay, so assuming that PFAB is same as the probability of failure of both the columns, say symmetry or whatever you can assume. So then your probability of failure of AB and then probability of failure of CD, this turns out to be 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 3. So these are the probabilities actually, individual probabilities. So now these are the probabilities for the columns and these are the probability for the beam. So now knowing these probabilities, now you can design your structure actually. So it is like an inverse problem. So the same problems, whatever we have done here. So in this problem, what has been given is you have been given the load, you have been given all the uncertainties in the resistance and this one, and you calculated this probability of failure. Now this problem is, I will give you this probability of failure. Now you do the inverse problem actually, and then you find out, what should be the resistance, what should be, given those parameters and all those things. You can do these type of calculations also. Okay, so this is also one way where you can do the design also. Some typical the things. So several problems can be worked out by making, like you see, which is better, this is better, or that is better, and you can do all those calculations also. Okay, but the only thing, please remember, here we have assumed all of them are the basic assumption here is independent of you followed, right? The independent of each other basically. And now what happens when they are correlated? When they are now, as I think Vaibhav you asked, right? What should be the, how do we select this one? System should be more than this one. What should be the bounds say on system probabilities? So the bounds on this is system probability. Now what happens? The correlations are there. You followed. So this also can be calculated actually. So now here, we will just slightly change our notation using this Boolean variables. Very simple thing. This is like a set, something like that. We will just use just a notation slight change itself. We will define two variables actually, SI and FI. Okay. So SI for the ith element, it is defined like this: 1, 0. So the element is non-failure. It is safe basically. Okay, and this is element is in failure state. So we define two states actually. Now similarly we define Fi as 1 minus Si. Okay, so this is also equal to 0 and 1. It is non-failure. So it is just a set theory kind of thing. It will be easy for calculating, and this is a failure state. Okay, so now we have to define this is the overall system. So these are the individual elements. So the overall system say, so this contains of all the elements S1, S2 up to Sn. And now similarly this one say it contains F1, F2 up to Fn. Okay, now finally my system thinks to say SS of S bar. This is for the system. This also can be 1 and 0, non-failure. Okay, and then the failure state. Okay, the system, overall system itself. Now similarly I can define Fs of this F hat. So this also equal to 0, 1, non-failure, and then failure state. So these are just a set the notations this itself. Okay, and now if it is a series system, say, so if it is a series system, same thing only we are writing in what will be the system failure. So system failure will be, what will be the system failure basically? If the elements are in a series and the individual element is S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, so what will happen to the overall system failure if it is in series? So what do you mean by series system? See, what do you mean by series? When the systems are in series, what is the physical meaning of series systems? What do you mean by series? The things are in series. What happens? What will be the overall failure? And what is your comment on the individual failure also?
Individual failure the same as like it will cause the
individual failure means our system also fails basically. So you can write this as the product of these individual variables S2 up to Sn. Okay. So pi I is equal to 1 to n Si. So what is the meaning of this expression? If one element fails, now among all these elements, S3 fails, say. Now what happens to the overall system? Now S1, if it is non-failure means it is equal to 1 actual. Failure means it is equal to 0 basically. Now one element fails, say. Suppose S3 fails, what will be the total SS bar of S bar, this one? System failure, if I write like this in this expression, if S3 is equal to 0, all other elements are 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So the product is
0.
0. That means the system also has failed actually. So using these variables, we can represent like this also. These are not probability of failures. Okay. So we are writing, how to represent a system using this Boolean variables itself. Now the system is parallel, say. So for it is a parallel system. So what's the meaning of parallel system? SS of S bar. How do we write this expression? So I will write like this actually. Pi I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, 1 minus Si actually. So now what do you mean by parallel system? Parallel system means, let us say among S1, S2, S3, all other things, let us say S3 is 0. That means you followed, it has failed actually. So failure state means S is equal to 0. Now what happens to the overall system in parallel? Suppose one element is 0, say, whether this also becomes 0. So if one element is 0, what happens in the series system? If one element is 0, the overall system also becomes 0. That means the system also fails actually. Now when the system is in parallel, say, now if one individual element is 0, now what happens?
This will become 1.
So this not 1. This become 1 minus. So in this multiplication, so 1 minus S1, 1 minus S2, 1 minus S3, like this, you will have actual. Okay. Now one thing collapses. What happens? See, one element collapses means, let us say S3 has collapsed. Collapse means what will be the value of S3 if it is in failure?
0.
0. So what happens in this expression? 1 minus 0. So what is 1 minus 0 is 1. So now your so the parallel system will be, so parallel system will still have 1 minus S1, 1 minus S2, other things will be there. And this component becomes simply 1 itself actually. So in parallel system, what is our meaning of this one? So one thing collapses also, the system will not collapse. Okay, the system will still be acting actually. Okay, so this is how we represent a series system, parallel system, using these Boolean variables basically. Okay, it is not probability of failure. Please be careful here. Probability of failure has to be calculated through these individual expressions only. But here this is just a notation, we use for non-failure, failure, using this Boolean variables itself. Okay, this is not probability of failure, just a description of how to write a series system and how to write a parallel system using these variables itself. Okay, and now when the systems are having positive correlation, okay, if the variables are correlated, this is here where we will have. So the things are correlated. So let us say they are all positive correlations are there. Okay, positive correlation means your row say 0 to 1. So there will be no negative, the correlation. So now there has been people have tried, some bounds have been calculated here. The bounds are like this. So for a series system, say. So for a series system, so now our probability, this one. So the bounds on probability, So this you can calculate also analytically, you can do all those things. It's using set theory. So the individual things, so the maximum, these are the bounds of I. Okay, probability Fi say is equal to 1. Okay, less than or equal to probability of failure, less than or equal to 1 minus pi. I is equal to 1 to n. Okay, so 1 minus p. Fi is equal to 1. So this is how we write. So these are the bounds. This is the lower bound. And this is the upper bound. The lower bound Fi is equal to 1. The meaning is Fi if it is 1 say. So F is 1 means failure state. Or you can also write Si is 0 also. Then also it is same actual. Okay, so one can write in this expression. So now the lower bound say. So the meaning of the lower bound expression is, elements are fully correlated. Okay. So they are fully correlated, say. Suppose if the elements are fully correlated, now what happens, the system is in series and all elements are fully correlated. That means, the correlation between all the elements is equal to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So this chain, this chain, this chain, this chain, and all these individual things is there. Okay. So they are highly correlated. So if the correlation is 1, say, now what happens? So these individual elements, what happens? They are in series and they are highly correlated among themselves. Now what happens if they're highly correlated among themselves? One chain break will lead to see, all the elements are fully correlated. So they are fully correlated. That means rho is equal to 1. And now when rho is equal to 1, say, what happens to this chain? If one chain is breaking, so what happens to the other chains?
Overall failure.
No, overall failure is different. That is in system. Suppose this chain breaks actually. What is your comment on the neighborhood chain?
It will also break.
Because why it will break? All the chains, all the links will break at the same time actually, because they are highly correlated with correlation coefficient is 1. So the correlation coefficient is 1, say, that means all of them are similar, they have same, everything is same thing like that. So everything will break in one go. That is a system failure is that is also there. But one chain collapses means at the same point of a time all the chains will collapse in just one go actually. So that is the lowest bound. You can prove the mathematically by using the the inequalities and other things you can do. So this is a lower bound. Now the upper bound, say. So the largest probability of failure. Okay, so the largest probability of failure. So this is a maximum. So this is not upper bound. This is a lower bound actual. So if you see this, the maximum of the largest probability of failure of the individual among the constituent elements. Okay, so this is the lower bound. Okay, now the upper bound, say. So now the upper bound, this upper bound comes from where? That expression is same as this expression. How it did we arrive at this expression? 1 minus pi I is equal to 1 to n 1 minus p. This expression. How did we arrive this expression?
Assuming the failures to be independent.
Independent or uncorrelated kind of thing. So that is the upper bound. You followed. So upper bound means uncorrelated. Okay, that means rho is equal to 0. You followed, right? So when things are there, say for a series system, you can calculate these are the bounds actually, lower bound and then the upper bound kind of a thing. You can calculate from this individual things also. Okay, and now I think one of you asked, right? What Vaibhav? No, you asked the question. How do I system? System, what did you say? That system probability, this problem, no? Where is that problem?
System will be more reliable.
System becomes more reliable. Now, what is a bound? How much reliable it can become? See, now this problem we said, no, AB is 4.5, BC is 4.39, and this is the 4.24 actual. Or if you talk in terms of probability of failure, the system probability of failure is 1.11 into 10 to the power of minus 5. The individual are 5.41 and 5.67 actual. So the overall system probability. So what is the, if you want to, make this, if you want to decrease this actual, okay, if you want to decrease the system probability, how much you can decrease? So I want to make 1.11 into 10 to the power of minus 5. I want it to decrease actually. This 1.11 into 10 to the power of minus 5. I want to decrease this to this one. So what is the lowest bound? You can decrease up to how much? And what is the constraint there? So if you see the bounds here, say what is the lowest bound? Upper bound is this actually, that 1.11 you have calculated from this expression, assuming that they are all uncorrelated actual. Now, if I want to, you want to reduce, right? And you want to make the system reliability more, means probability of failure you are decreasing actually. What is the lowest bound?
Individual element probability.
So the maximum of the individual elements basically. But that you can do. What's your criteria?
They have to be fully correlated.
Fully correlated. So now if they are fully correlated, so what is that you can do? So the lowest bound or the lowest thing should be maximum of this. Maximum is 5.41. That is beam and BC is there. So the maximum you can do is, you can make it 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 6. This you can make it, but provided you have to make the things. No, you have to make the beam and BC say The only way is the beam AB and BC, you have to make them highly
correlated.
So that is the bound basically. You followed. So that is the only way you can try to do. Okay. So this is a very, the important thing to know the bounds basically. So how much should be how much, you can decrease, and what should be the upper bound and higher bound, you can make it actual. So this expression say. So what the advantage of this expression is, you don't know whether the things are correlated or not correlated. If you are not sure, so the advantage of this expression gives you the upper bound actual. Okay, it is something like conservative or whatever, you can talk about those issues itself. So if you want, then you have to go for the correlations actual. Okay, so these for the series system. Now if it is a parallel system, say. If it is a parallel system also, the bounds have been given, and it is a positive correlation. Okay, they're not negative correlation. So if it is a positive correlation is there, the lower bound and others will be like this. Phi I is equal to 1 to n. So probability of failure, say Fi is equal to 1, or Si is equal to 0 also, less than or equal to probability of failure less than or equal to minimum I. Probability of failure Fi is equal to 1 actual. Okay, so these are the things basically. Now this expression, how did we arrive at this expression for series system, for parallel system?
When they are uncorrelated, independent.
They are uncorrelated basically. So it is reverse, you followed, right? There it is happening. So this is, we got this as uncorrelated kind of thing. Okay, now this is a perfectly correlated. Perfect correlated means rho is almost it is equal to 1 basically. You followed. So these are the bounds itself. So correlation, uncorrelation, say. So you have the bounds this side, that side, you can easily calculate basically. Okay, so you can calculate this, and there are some expressions and problems. You can try this one, and there is one more thing is that equally correlated also we have. Okay, there are some lot of formulas are there. Like if we're having a series system, say, okay, with equally correlated, say. If they are all equally correlated elements, all the elements are equally correlated. Okay, that means you followed. So like you see, if you are having a lot of elements are there, so the correlation between this to this, this to this, this to this, it is not, they may not be perfect correlated, but they are equally correlated. Like this element is a 0.5, say. This element is also 0.5. All the correlations are 0.5. Then you can have, some, analytically some formulas one can derive. So like if it is equally correlated, there is some formula is derived by Stewart, Okay, the formulas are there. Okay, so probability of failure, say 1 minus, minus infinity to infinity, and of course they have to be normal distribution also. So 5 beta E plus this is the individual reliability index of each element actually. Rho by, you see, 1 minus rho. Okay, so whole to the power of n, and then phi of t. So this is a capital phi, and this is a phi of t dt. Okay, so this expression, and phi are basically, this phi is probability distribution function, whereas this phi is a probability density function. Actually, I am writing in small letters. So this is density, and this is distribution. So these are the two functions, and rho anyway is the correlation coefficient also. Okay, so they will give all the, that which is same correlation coefficient, which is same along all the elements. Okay, so like this, we have these expressions are there. So many you followed, right? Expressions, and you can, and of course the main assumption is all of them should be normal distribution, normal random variables. Okay, so there are some expressions and others, you can, they have been given basically. Okay, like you can find out, you can do like you see a truss element or whatever, so they're equally correlated. So like you see 9.1 so if you take any, a truss element or whatever, so I don't know where it is. No, so like you see, if I have a truss element, say. Okay, so this is a simply supported truss. Okay, A, B, C, say. Okay, so you can there's whatever you follow, right? You can say the probability of failure, and they are all series only. So this everything is connected in series because one thing and is a determinate or indeterminate truss. See, all the elements are there. So you are having AB, then you have AC, and then you have BC. This is a determinate or indeterminate truss.
Determinate.
Determinate means what type of connections they are?
Series.
They are all series connections basically. Okay, and let us say the beta individual elements basically. The reliability index is 3, and then the correlation is 0.85. That means AB and AC correlation is 0.85. ACBC correlation is 0.85, and ABBC is also 0.85. So all of them are same say. So you can use this type of expressions actually. So 1 minus minus infinity to infinity. So you can substitute actually phi beta E plus T rho, this 1 minus rho square root is there, and 3 the number of elements are this one. So phi of T dt you can solve, and then I think this problems it turns out to be some 29.05 into 10 to the power of minus 4. This is a probability of failure of this element and individual probabilities. If you try to calculate, so the individual probability reliability index is already known to you. So the PF is phi of minus 3. So this is turns out to be 13.5 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Now you comment here. This is the overall system. This one. So 29.05 into 10 to the power of minus 4. And now what is the individual probability is basically the individual probability is a 13.5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 actual. So now what is your comment? System things and individual things to say. What is your this one? What is your comment here? System and individual probabilities. So what has happened? Individually is 13.5. 10 to the power of minus 4 is same. The overall is 29.05. Now what is your comment? Whether they are different or which is high or which is low?
System failure probability is higher.
Slightly higher actually. Suppose if I want a 29.05, this should be same as 13.5. So what is that I have to do?
We have to make it perfectly correlated.
That means rho should be
1.
1. You followed. Suppose if rho is 0, say, then you can easily calculate from the previous expressions. Okay, the upper bound, lower bound, you can. So the same problem, if you assume rho is equal to 1, say, so this becomes same as the 13.5. This expression only will come into picture actual. Okay, so this way you can calculate. There are so many interesting things will come. Okay. So unequally correlated, what happens? So there are some analytical, the expressions are there. Like is unequally correlated, the elements is say. Okay, normally they are normally distributed, and if it is a parallel system, basically unequally correlated, and if it is a parallel system, say. So you can calculate. There are several, the expressions and other things are there. So the system reliability is given by some derivations as there. Square root of is n by 1 plus n minus 1 into rho bar, where rho bar say is 1 by n into n minus 1, because they are not unequally correlated. You say I is not equal to j n rho I j basically. Okay, so this you can derive these type of expressions. Okay, like you see. If they are unequally correlated, if it is a parallel, what happens? If it is a series, what happens? Like these type of expressions are there. They have reported in textbooks also. So you can use these type of expressions, and then you can calculate our series. This probability of failures also. Okay. So this way you can try and we can solve some problems itself. So anyway, so I will stop here. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. We'll continue in our next class.